Hello, welcome to this video in biology. I'm previously tutor. We will be looking at the first topic in biology, that is plants and animals. So in this tutorial, we're going to look at how plant cells and animal cells look and their functions. Let's start with a plant cell. A plant cell has a structure that looks like this. Inside, you are going to find the cytoplasm. You are going to find the Golgi Apparatus. You are going to find the chloroplast, the nucleus, the Endoplasmic Reticulum, the vacuole of the cell, and so many. Let's look at the structure of an animal cell. An animal cell has a structure that looks like this. Vacuole, it has a nucleus, a Golgi body. It has all the structures that a plant cell has, except some, such as the chloroplast, it doesn't have. And make sure you know how to draw those. Let's look at the functions of each plant and animal cell parts. We'll start from the nucleus. The nucleus is the control center of all the cell and house activities. It also contains the genetic information of a cell. Usually, a cell has a single nucleus that contains all of its DNA molecules, but some, such as skeletal muscles, they have more than one nucleus. The nucleus protects the cell DNA while controlling all other cell activities, such as cell division, growth, protein production or protein synthesis, and the cell death. So these are some of the activities controlled by a nucleus in the cell. Let's start look at the ribosomes. The ribosomes, the DNA molecules housed in the nucleus, also contain blueprints for all the protein produced by a cell. So the main functions of the ribosomes is to aid or to promote protein synthesis. These blueprints are read and interpreted by ribosomes, which are then sites for protein production in plants and animal cells. Ribosomes produce proteins by assembling amino acid sequences according to the instructions contained in the genetic code. Let's look at the mitochondria. A mitochondria, therefore, it says cells need energy to do those cell activities and all the cellular reactions, such as biochemical reactions, and most of that energy is released by the mitochondria. Now, the mitochondria are the site for respiration and a powerhouse of the cell. It pumps out energy, which is then stored as a form of ATP. What ATP stands for is adenosine triphosphate. ATP molecules are the energy currency of cell and are used to fuel all the other cell activities. The endoplasmic reticulum. This is divided into two, into the rough endoplasmic reticulum and into the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum is a network of membranes inside the cell, and its main functions are to process and transport new materials. Now, the transportation and processing of these materials, it depends whether it's a rough endoplasmic reticulum or it's a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. If it's a rough endoplasmic reticulum, the rough is started with a ribosome. It has got ribosomes. That's why it's called a rough endoplasmic reticulum, giving it a bumpy or a rough appearance. On top of along the endoplasmic reticulum, we have, let me show you what I'm talking about. If this is the endoplasmic reticulum, then on top here it has got bumps like. Now these bumps like are the one we are calling the ribosomes. Alright, so you can even tell that the main function of the rough endoplasmic reticulum is to transport proteins. Then, while the smooth endoplasmic reticulum does not have ribosomes attached to it and instead involved in hormone and the lipid synthesis. So that's the difference. The Golgi apparatus. Once newly synthesized substances have left the endoplasmic reticulum, what happens? They are sent to the Golgi apparatus. Now, why are they sent to the Golgi apparatus? This is a series of flooded and membrane-bound sacs that package and distribute substances to the outer membrane of the cell. So what happens after food has been manufactured? It has to be transported. It is transported by the endoplasmic reticulum. Now, once it is transported by the endoplasmic reticulum to where it is taken to the Golgi apparatus. Now, the Golgi apparatus, it now distributes the manufactured food to all other parts of the cell. The cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance that fills the interior space of a cell. It contains a substance known as cytosol that looks like water, that contains many chemicals such as salts, enzymes, and other organic molecules. The cytoplasm surrounds and protects the organelles of the cell and is where many cellular processes such as photosynthesis and glycolysis take place. The cell membrane, also known as the plasma membrane. All cells are surrounded by a cell membrane, which consists of a semipermeable phospholipid bilayer. The cell membrane controls which substances enter and leave the cell. Also, it separates the interior of the cell from its external environment. So it controls what substances have to enter the cell and which one have to. Let's call this is a cell membrane, and this is the interior of the cell, and this is the outside of the cell. So when substances are trying to enter into the cell, unnecessary substances will be stopped by the cell membrane. This. All right, it's a semi-permeable. It only allows certain substances to enter, and it prevents other substances from entering. The chloroplast. This is usually found in plant cells, which are green pigment, which are the site of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, we know that is a process by which energy from the sun is used to convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose, and it's how plants produce food with the carbohydrates. Now, chloroplasts are filled with chlorophyll, a green pigment that gives plants their color. Chlorophyll, it harvests light energy, or you can say it absorbs light energy, which the chloroplast then uses to produce glucose. Once glucose has been synthesized, it is broken down, released during respiration in the mitochondria. Remember I talked about. The cell wall is only found in plant cells. The plant cells are surrounded by a tough structure called the cell wall, which is found outside of the cell membrane, and it's mainly made of cellulose. So the cell wall is made of cellulose. The cell wall supports, that's one function. It also protects plant cells, also giving them their characteristic rectangular or box-like shape. So it is also responsible for the shape of a cell, of the plant cell. The vacuole is a very large organelle that can occupy up to 90% of the interior space. One of its key functions is storage. It mainly stores. The vacuole is filled with cell sap, which consists mainly of water but also contains proteins, sugars, and other molecules. Another function of the vacuole is to maintain what we call the tag pressure, which helps the plant to keep its shape and prevent wilting and bursting. Wilting is a process by which a plant reduces in size due to loss of water. This can be temporal or this can be permanent. So thank you so much for having me in this tutorial and previous tutor. Don't forget to subscribe and to like my channel. I'll see you in the next video. God bless you.